Have you ever been asked to be a sperm donor at your vasectomy? After our third kid, my wife Elise and I decided we were done. 3 daughters in 5 years had turned our house into beautiful chaos, but we knew our limits. I scheduled the vasectomy for a Friday afternoon, figuring I'd spend the weekend on the couch watching basketball while Elise managed the kids. The urologist, Dr. Ramirez, seemed distracted during my consultation. She kept checking her phone and muttering under her breath. "Everything okay?" I asked as she reviewed my paperwork. "Just some scheduling issues," she said, forcing a smile. "Nothing to worry about. You're here for the vasectomy, correct? No more kids?" "Definitely. 3 is our magic number." She nodded, then paused. "I have an unusual question. How do you feel about helping other families?" I assumed she meant donating to charity. "We give when we can." "No, I mean," she set down her clipboard. "This is completely unorthodox, but we have a situation. There's a couple in our fertility clinic, the Johanssons. They've been trying for 7 years. Today was supposed to be their final IUI attempt, but their donor just backed out, literally an hour ago." I stared at her. "Are you asking what I think you're asking? The timing is unfortunate, I know, but you're here. You've already completed all the health screenings for your procedure, and looking at your file, you're an ideal candidate. 3 healthy children, good family medical history, college educated. You want me to donate sperm before my vasectomy?" "After, actually. We'd reverse the procedure immediately. The Johanssons would cover all costs, plus compensation. Then we'd redo the vasectomy in 6 weeks." I laughed, certain this was a joke. "That's insane." "It's desperate," she corrected. "Mrs. Johansson is 41. This is likely her last chance. Their insurance won't cover another cycle. Why don't they just find another donor? The matching process takes months. She's already prepped for the procedure today. Her hormone levels are optimal right now. If they miss this window." She trailed off. I thought about Elise crying every month for 2 years before we conceived our first. The pregnancy tests in the trash, the forced smiles at other people's baby showers. "Can I meet them?" Dr. Ramirez looked surprised. "That's not typical protocol. Neither is this situation." 20 minutes later, I was sitting in a consultation room across from Harold and Bethany Johansson. He was tall, Nordic-looking, with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. She was petite, with auburn hair, and had clearly been crying. "This is so weird," Bethany said immediately. "I'm sorry. We're not usually people who corner strangers for their genetic material." That broke the tension. I laughed. "I'm not usually a person who gets cornered." Harold leaned forward. "We understand if you say no. This is beyond inappropriate. But when Dr. Ramirez mentioned you were here and might consider it, we had to ask. Tell me your story," I said. For the next hour, they talked about their journey. The tests, the treatments, the miscarriages, how they'd picked their original donor because he had Harold's coloring and my build, how Bethany's sister had offered to carry but they wanted to try one more time themselves. "What about adoption?" I asked. "We're on 3 waiting lists," Bethany said. "Have been for 4 years." I excused myself and called Elise from the hallway. "You're not going to believe what's happening." After I explained, she was quiet for a long moment. "What does your gut say?" "That these are good people who deserve a chance." "Then do it." "But I want to meet them first." Elise drove over with all 3 kids. My daughters immediately swarmed Bethany, showing her their drawings and asking if she liked unicorns. Bethany lit up in a way that made the decision clear. The legal paperwork took 3 hours. Lawyers appeared from nowhere with contracts about anonymity, financial obligations, none for me, and future contact, none unless all parties agreed when the child turned 18. The compensation was enough to pay for our minivan. Dr. Ramirez performed the reversal that afternoon. "This is the strangest day of my career," she admitted. 6 weeks later, I was back for the actual vasectomy. The Johanssons sent a card saying the first round had worked. Bethany was pregnant. 9 months after that, they sent a photo of their son, Oscar. He had Harold's eyes, and weirdly enough, my cowlick that all my daughters inherited. We kept it secret for years. Then last month, my middle daughter needed a kidney transplant. Before I could get tested, my phone rang. It was Harold. "We heard through Dr. Ramirez about your daughter. Oscar wants to get tested. He's 18 now and knows everything." "How does he know about us?" "He doesn't. We just told him a family needed help. But he said something that reminded me of you. He said, sometimes strangers give you the gift of family. Shouldn't family return the favor?" Oscar was a perfect match. He donated his kidney to my daughter last week. At the hospital, he asked to meet her. When they finally met, he said, "Your dad gave my parents hope when they had none." This is just interest on that loan. My daughter doesn't know the full story yet. Someday we'll tell her that her life was saved by a stranger who wasn't really a stranger, created during the most unlikely moment in an ordinary urologist's office.